Hello, good evening, and thank you for watching this video. I know it's been a long time since I've made a video. I think this is the third one in the series of videos which I've done recently. Uh, this particular video I've made inspired by GAN, basically Generative Adversarial Networks. It's a project for which I was inspired after taking a training program organized by Regex Softwares. And it really sparked my interest to know more about this subject. So the training program was basically based on artificial neural networks and their workings, and primarily focusing upon the deep learning. I've done a lot of research after that, and I came across this concept of deep convolutional generative adversarial networks, which are also known as DC-GAN in short. Full form I know is a mouthful. So, I've done a lot of research, and I tried to build one myself using TensorFlow and Keras libraries of Python. Since this is the first attempt which I'm making on the GANs, a lot of code basically resembles or have a very strong semblance to the code snippets which are available on TensorFlow website. So a lot of code will have a very strong semblance to the sample codes on the TensorFlow website. The technologies which I've used is basically Python and all its libraries, primarily focusing upon TensorFlow and Keras, which are the deep learning frameworks, followed by Glob, Matplotlib, NumPy, which are the usual libraries. I've done the entire project on Google Colab because I could gain the access to GPU. Everyone knows that deep learning networks are resource intensive, and my system might not have that many resources allocated for this task. So Google Colab gives me a very good platform to do this and run it. The time taken to train the entire model is much lesser on Google Colab because of the GPU as compared to that of my local machine. Right? So I'll just give a very brief description of what the project is all about. So this is a very basic version of GAN, which has two components to it. One is the generator, and the second one is the discriminator. So these are the two primary components. I will also explain it, with the help of a diagram later. But these are the two principal components: the generator and the discriminator. Now, both these components are nothing but the deep learning neural networks. So coming over to the generator, it's basically a neural network which learns to draw images, the handwritten images, from the input which it takes from the training data set. I will explain you about the training data set as well. And the discriminator is basically a critique of generator's work. So what we are trying to establish here is basically a competition between the generator and the discriminator. So the generator keeps on generating those images or drawing those images of handwritten digits, which it learns from the data set, and discriminator parallelly learns from the data set and identifies how good or bad is the work which is coming to it from generators. While playing this game, both the generator as well as the discriminator get better on their job, and eventually are able to generate the images of the handwritten digits. I will show you the image and how the image transforms over a period of time in the form of a GIF. Both are neural networks and they gradually learn. So I will also show you the GIF of that learning curve, which both the generator as well as the discriminator takes. Both the neural networks have two hidden layers of artificial neurons, and the GIF will basically explain this to you in a much better format that, at the beginning of the training, the generator produces very, very vague and random lines, which basically get better and better with time. Right. So a little bit of diagram which will show how the generative adversarial networks operate. So this is how they operate. This is again taken from one of the publicly available images from Google. So here we have a generator, and here we have a discriminator. These are two neural networks that we have. Generator is generating those fake sample images and feeding it to discriminator. At the same time, discriminator is basically taking the real samples and giving a feedback to generator to improve it further, based on which generator improves its output, and this cycle continues till the time an equilibrium is established between the generator and the discriminator. And this CNN for deep learning, this diagram is something which is basically inside this generator and discriminator. So we have different hidden layers. There are two hidden layers which I have incorporated in the generator as well as discriminator. I'll come to it later, but this is the primary functioning of the CNN network, which lie within the generator and the discriminator programs. I'll not go much deeper into it. This is all theory, and I have time constraints, so I'll directly jump onto the code now, code snippet. Before I start that, I'll introduce you to the dataset, which is the MNIST dataset. It's a publicly available dataset of handwritten digits, which was developed in 1998 and is split into 70,000 images, out of which 60,000 are training images and 10,000 are test images. Right. So now moving forward quickly, I've imported the libraries in this section. I've loaded and prepared the dataset with a buffer size of 60,000 and batch size of 256. So this is where we start to create the model in the next step. And this code is basically the generator. This is where I've created the generator. I told you there are two layers which I have, two hidden layers. So this is the layer 1 and the layer 2. So now coming over to the third step. This is the step where I wanted to show how my generator can create a random handwritten image of a digit. So this is the first attempt, the very first attempt done by the generator. This is how the image comes out. It's a very pixelated image. I will be running this in a loop over and over again. I'll show you how, but this is a sample image generated by it in the first attempt by our generator. This is the discriminator. Again, it has layers into it. So at this stage, I basically created the discriminator, and in this stage, I have basically asked the discriminator to classify the image which was generated by my generator. Okay, so now I'm defining the loss and optimizing it. This is where we define the discriminator loss and the generator loss. And we further optimize the entire code. The entire image development by the generator. So at this stage, I have done some checkpoints, which will be saving the progress of each step. So this image which I had shown you, this was the first step, which will be saved using the checkpoint because of this code. Okay, so this is where we have the main part which starts. So here I'm defining the epoch and the noise. Noise is nothing but the random image which is being generated. So noise becomes an image at a later stage after evolution. Epochs is the number of cycles which are being run by the generator. So here we are running in 80 cycles. This was the first cycle, the sample image, and post that there will be 79 more cycles before it gradually learns to write a digit. So these are all the definitions which I've created. We have the train step definition, we have the training definition. So at this stage, this is the code where I've defined a function which saves those images. And this is the main place or the main step where we actually train the model. So in this step, these 60,000 images which I was referring to in the MNIST dataset, these 60,000 images, the training data set of the MNIST, the 60,000 images will be fed to the generator as well as the discriminator, and both of them will start to compete with each other, and the generator will basically get better and better based on the feedback given by the discriminator, and eventually will spit out something like this. So this really does not depict a handwritten image of a digit in some of the cases, but yes, with a lot of improvement in the code, this can be further optimized. But this is a good start to start off with. As you can see, it has taken 18 minutes of GPU time to train the generator to be this good. If we improve the code further or improvise the code further with different methods, we can achieve even better accuracy. So this is where I have basically saved the final image of what we've got as an output. It's 148751010. So these are the random handwritten images which the generator has given to us. And this basically, the last step is where you can see the GIF of entire evolution. So with each and every step, generator becomes better and better at spitting out the handwritten digits. If you closely see, it basically starts out with few random dots in the beginning. I'll show you. So this is where it starts, from a few random dots, evolving into few random lines, evolving into something like digits, and evolving into what is it now in front of us. So that was my small little project. I'll again thank Regex for the interest which it has generated in me about this subject. And I also thank TensorFlow, and as I said, the code snippets will resemble the ones which are there in sample snippets on TensorFlow website. Because this was my first attempt, I'm pretty sure that going forward I would be doing my own codes to develop the GANs. But yeah, this is a good starting point. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, especially the last part where we got rid of the theory and came to the practical of how the network develops itself and how it learns. And I am hopeful that I am able to inspire you while watching this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sure that we'll meet again very soon.